The ocean. They say only 5% of the world's oceans have been explored. Damn. As a kid and even now, I have this immense fascination with what lives underwater. People talk about alien life in outer space, but really, you just gotta watch one of these ocean docudramas and you'll be like, what the hell? Dildo ass looking fish. That's why I have a deep appreciation for any media that does its research on the ocean. Finding Nemo, Blue Planet, Shark Tale. You guys remember Shark Tale?
Can't touch this.
Of course, the games existed too. Zoo Tycoon, Marine Mania, Insane Aquarium, Feeding Frenzy, which you can now play on Xbox, Jaws Unleashed, Echo the Dolphin, Shamu's Deep Sea Adventures. Only real ones remember this shit. Subnautica, Abzu, Dredge, and most recently, Another Crab's Treasure. I may not have played every under the sea game to ever exist, but the infatuation was and still very much is real. Which brings me to Dave the Diver. This game's pretty darn good. On the surface, it's actually quite a simple game. You go diving during the day, catch a lot of fish, and make sushi by night. And this just goes on for the majority of the game. It's a very relaxing and super chill collectathon. And yet, it sold over 3 million copies. And you're probably thinking, what? Barely, why has a deep sea diving / restaurant management game sold over 3 million copies? Well, my troubled viewer, come with me and we'll take a deep dive into what makes this game such a hit. Back in the day, Facebook had a lot of chill games I used to love playing. Pet Society, Backyard Monsters, Farmville, Fishville, but my favorite was a game called Restaurant City, which was, believe it or not, published by EA under a studio called Playfish. Bancho's Sushi Bar reminds me so much of Restaurant City. It was this relaxing restaurant simulator game. You decorated your restaurant, hired new staff, expanded capacity, and you could create dishes every time you unlocked new ingredients. And I would spend hours on this game. Dave the Diver's restaurant aspect just feels really familiar in that regard. You can decorate your sushi bar, serve customers, research new recipes and dishes by catching new fish, and it's just as addictive in this game. Also, check this shit out. And now check this out. Huh? You think I'm reaching, don't you? The core gameplay loop reminds you of another game I used to play on this website called Miniclip. Motherload, as in your mother took this fat load. Sorry, the progression aspect and gameplay loop just feels so similar. You have the oxygen tank in Dave the Diver, you have the fuel gauge in Motherload, the suit upgrades reminded me a lot of the hull upgrades, the stronger harpoons versus the stronger drills, going deeper underwater to find rarer fish versus going deeper underground to find rarer minerals. I know these are probably not direct inspirations or influences, but I just like drawing the parallels. Other cool and probably actual inspirations are there though. There's a farming simulator, there's Metal Gear Solid, there's Tamagotchi where you look after a digital fish pet, there's Thundersnare from Undertale except it's seahorse racing, there's a little bit of Pokemon Snap where you photograph some of the endangered fish. The collectathon aspect is emphasized by these trading cards, and Sato, who is the part of Satoshi's alter ego personality where he finally realizes why Gary Oak was always around his mother every time he called. There's Cooking Mama shit in here, there's a fucking visual novel sequence. The boss fights are like those from 2D platformers or Metroidvanias. Kloss, the Great White Shark, is a fight given to you by Clara the Womb Raider, which is an ode to this fucking scene. And that's a brilliant thing about this game. It's got a lot of personality, which, if you've seen my videos, I fucking love personality in my games. And if you love personality in your videos, then you should fucking subscribe or I'm gonna stick this dildo ass fish up your butt. Just show the next title card. Something I deeply appreciate is when developers go out of their way to inject character into the game. It's something a lot of big companies miss the mark on, and some of the best games I've ever played are chock full of it. Dave, Bancho, Cobra, the side characters, the VIPs are all absolutely overflowing with character. It's not just in their designs, but in the character dialogue box animations. None of them speak a voice-acted word, but their mumbling gets the job done. There are so many cutscenes that I fucking love watching, Bancho's especially. Every time you create a new dish, research a recipe, or do some side mission, Bancho is all up in this bitch like some motherfucking anime protagonist. Shokugeki no Soma comes to mind. Bancho feeds these VIP customers his dishes and they all exhibit over-the-top reactions. Otto reacts like the critic from Ratatouille where the cooking sends him back in time. This timid, shy Japanese ventriloquist's puppet starts pelvic thrusting. Michael Bay with his fucking robot ninja Transformers movie knockoff has explosions erupting in the background. MC Sammy, who I thought was going to be a total dickhead, dropped an entire song which caught me so off guard. Fucking Pepper Tuna, Pepper Tuna, Pepper Tuna, Pepper Tuna, Pepper Tuna, Pepper Tuna. But the personality doesn't freaking end there, boys. No. There's so much more. It's in these fun little mini games. It's in the boss fights. It's on this cooking Instagram app called Cooksta. It's in this entire dream anime concert section that I must have played about 10 times like the filthy little weeblet I am because it's just so much fun. I love you, Stella! Remember when I told you to stick that dildo-ass fish up your butt if you didn't subscribe? Well, that shark is actually in the game. One of the coolest things about the dev team is that they've actually got scuba diving licenses and are avid divers, so that attention to detail in the coral reefs and aquatic life is that much more meaningful. For my honeymoon, I actually went snorkeling and saw manta rays, so to actually see them depicted the way they were in the game was pretty exciting. It wasn't until about 4 hours into Dave the Diver that I realized every single fish in the game was real. This was such a slap on my balls. At the start of the video, I proclaimed I loved underwater life, but I had no fucking clue what this was. Rhinocimeridae. What the fuck? Screw the goblin shark, stick this one up your butt. It personally increased my enjoyment for the game a lot more. I liked seeing the fish I knew of and was amazed at the fish I didn't even know existed. There's a Titan triggerfish that looks like the comment section in my AAA games video. There's a fried egg jellyfish. There's a literal alien. There's this thing which obviously looks fake. I mean, look at it. There's no way this thing exists. Huh? Huh? Boom. What the actual fuck? I mean, saw sharks already exist, but buzzsaw sharks? I'm gonna chop off your dick with this one. But there's also some pretty neat in-game mechanics and behaviors I enjoyed because of the attention to detail. Sailfish actually get stuck in the rocks behind you if you manage to dodge an attack. The camera mechanic actually requires you to defog the lens in the colder areas. The sushi bar makes you serve drinks by using the right analog stick on PS5. If you run out of wasabi, you manually grind it up to refill capacity. It's immersion that feels neat and tidy. It wasn't asked for, but I'm glad it's there. And that pretty much sums up Dave the Diver as a whole. That's where the love comes through. You can really tell that the developers wanted to deliver a complete experience, trying to keep things fresh at every corner but not totally overwhelming the player. If you're looking for extra reasons to play it, there's free DLC, a collab with Dredge and another one with Godzilla where you can fight Sharktopus. Sharktopussy. Hadouken!